Hello everyone, and welcome to another week of Fredonia Faces. I'm Sydney Smith, and we've got a lot of wonderful people here on the show for you today. To start off, we are interviewing Dr. Angela McGowan, a communication professor, here to tell us her political opinions. Coming up later, Dr. Bill Boerner from the Office of Diversity and the men's a cappella group, Much More Chill. Join us in the studio. So, hello Dr. McGowan, how are you?
Good, thanks for having me on tonight.
Thank you for being here. So you have a very deep connection with politics.
I do.
Tell me about your history with it and how you began.
So I first became interested in politics when I was in high school, and then when I was in college, I volunteered on my first campaign. It was a woman that was running for the city council in Duluth, and I attended an event, and I was introduced to her, and then the two of us started working on her campaign along with her family. And then when I was in grad school, I worked for somebody that was running for the Milwaukee County Executive. And I did an internship with her, and so I worked on her campaign. And then my claim to fame is when I was working in Winona, Minnesota a couple years ago, I helped a guy named Jeremy Miller run for the Minnesota State Senate. And I managed his campaign. I took him through, in Minnesota we caucus, so I took him through the caucus. He got the party endorsement. From there, we went through the general election, and we beat the incumbent by about 400 votes. So it was very successful, and he was the youngest senator in Minnesota history.
Wow.
And
How old was he at
he
the
was
time?
26.
Wow.
Yeah, and he had never been in politics before, so that's what made it even more cool that he won that election.
Yeah.
And I was young at the time too. I was a year younger than he was when I managed that campaign.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so this is in college or after college?
This was after college, so
Okay.
this was when I was about 25.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. 26 and
Yeah.
25. Wow, you guys were young.
We were, and he is still a senator, so he is still serving in the Senate. I don't know if he's the youngest one anymore, but he's there.
Yeah.
And then when I was in grad school, I studied women in politics, and so that's my area. I look at women in the United States Senate.
Cool. So and I remember you saying in high school is when you started.
Yeah.
What in high school got you interested, and what did you do in high school with it?
My government teacher, and so learning about our founding fathers, I couldn't believe that they created a democracy, and so that's what I became interested in. And then I shadowed one senator, Michelle Bachmann, who went on to become a representative and a presidential candidate. I shadowed her one day when she was in the Minnesota State Senate, and then I shadowed another woman that was in the House of Representatives. And from there, in college, I went on to work on politics.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What are some cool experiences that you remember having it happen? Anything that stood out? Anything?
The door knocking. So because I'm a professor, I have the summers off.
Right.
And Jeremy always enlisted my help to do the door knocking every day in the summer. And
Every day?
Every day. Yep. His wife and I would go every morning, and we would door knock, and you see some pretty weird stuff when you walk up to their porches.
Yeah.
And some people are not happy to see you.
Right.
So the door knocking is very memorable, and we walked in so many parades, and I took lots of pictures, and I'm good now for a while.
I bet.
Yeah, so that was fun too.
That's awesome. Cool. So, yeah, you have a really great background with politics, and awesome. That's really cool. So now at Fredonia, how did you get into Fredonia, and what interested you? You said you're from Minnesota?
I am, yep.
How did you end up here?
So I'm originally from Minnesota, and then I spent 4 years in grad school in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, so the deep south.
Yeah.
And I was graduating last spring, and so I was looking for jobs, and Fredonia had a posting, and I've been told that Western New York is just like Minnesota, and the job read like it was meant for me, so I applied and got the interview. And then got the job and moved up here. And so I've been teaching, this semester I'm teaching a political communication class that's a lot of fun.
Yes, yes. My friend is in that class, and she says it's very interesting.
I think so.
Yeah.
We've talked about Hillary Clinton. We've looked at her and how the media covers her as a woman. And so we've looked at gender and politics.
Yeah.
We also recently looked at Donald Trump because he gives us a lot of material. And there was a picture of him in Iowa where he is standing with his hat on, and he's not wearing his typical tie, but one of the students pointed out he still has on cufflinks.
Of course.
Even though it's supposed to be relaxed and like he's one of the Iowans, he still has on his cufflinks.
He has
so we
to.
talked about how he's framing the scene. It's the political setting.
Right.
So we've had a lot of fun discussing the current election.
And I'm in your rhetoric and criticism class where it's not all about politics, but we do here and there. We'll bring politics into our discussion. So
yeah, last week we looked at Ronald Reagan's Challenger speech that he gave in response to the explosion.
Yeah.
I know, and you all did a nice job of analyzing the parts of the rhetorical situation. So that
there's
was
a whole
good.
process, you know, you don't realize it.
And it's all strategic. That's something I want my students to know is when those politicians are up there, Donald Trump is wearing a flag pin and he's choosing not to wear a tie for a reason. It's all strategic.
Yeah. Is there anything else in the current political season that really stands out to you that kind of ties into what you're teaching?
Sure. We've also looked at Bernie Sanders. I found that a lot of the students here are big fans of his. So we've looked at him, and recently there was a New York Times article that featured a picture of him, and he is standing low, and you can't really see him behind the podium. But then we've also analyzed pictures of him being surrounded by young people, and what does that mean, and why are they featuring him in those sorts of pictures? And it's all strategy. He's trying to persuade the younger voters to support his candidacy.
It is all strategy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I remember we were watching that video on Hillary and how, the crying and how emotion really comes in.
Election.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 2008, she was at a coffee shop in New Hampshire talking with a group of women, and she had told that she was too cold, and so she needed to be softer, and her response was to tear up.
Yeah.
And we talked about how that was strategy and how that
yeah.
could hinder her credibility as a presidential candidate. What does it mean? Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know. It's all about the audience.
It is. It's all about, how you look and how you present yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, politics.
I know.
Crazy stuff. I wish I knew more about it, but you already have taught me so much just talking now and in class. But yeah, it's very interesting.
And in the fall, I'm going to be teaching a presidential campaign communication class.
Tell me about that class, what to expect and everything.
So we are going to do quite a few, what I think will be very fun activities. One will be I'm bringing in a guest speaker, and he's a former presidential speechwriter. He was an analyst for CBS News.
Wow.
And the students are going to host his visit, and they're going to help me publicize it, host it. They'll be active with him when he's here, so they'll do that. I'm partnering with the political science department to host a debate watch party, so they'll help host that, which would be fun.
Oh my goodness.
And then what I really want them to do is pick a presidential candidate and oversee the candidate's campaign. So it's hypothetical, but then it gives them experience of running a campaign.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So anyone can really take this, but
Anybody
is there
can.
a certain major that you suggest maybe to take it?
For sure, communication majors, especially because we'll focus a lot on persuasion and communication strategy.
Which we do in rhetoric and criticism.
Exactly. And then political science students. I would imagine some sociology students might also enjoy it, or if somebody is studying political psychology, they might enjoy the class as well.
Yeah.
So even people that don't like politics, like yourself, could still find it interesting.
Interesting. Well, even just hearing about it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Especially like a hands-on experience.
Oh, I know.
I didn't know that it was going to be like that.
I know, and then they can actually go to the voting booth and know, this is what went behind this campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Maybe I'll even take it.
I really think you should.
I would. I think it'd be
great
really
to work
nice.
with you again.
Yeah. So is there anything going on now that you do with government, or is it just strictly with teaching and?
Well, since I'm new to the area, I haven't had a chance to start networking yet, but I have reached out to the League of Women Voters, and so they're coming in and talking to my political communication class in a couple weeks. And so I'm looking to get involved with their organization. And then I also want to start getting involved with local campaigns that are going on.
What would you like to do with that?
I would just like to be the communication specialist. I'm not interested in managing a campaign again.
Not again.
No, it was a lot. I don't know that I'd have the time to do it anymore, but I would love to just help them write speeches, prep them on debates, help them when they're at their forums and knowing how to adapt their message to their audience. So I'd like to do that.
That's awesome. So we have about a minute left.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you'd really like to talk about, either when it comes to politics or your current classes now, or even just more again for the fall and talking about more about that?
Yeah, so I am enjoying teaching these classes. Part of my background is political communication, so I'll always bring that in my courses. And it's fun to have students and get them excited because typically students will say, oh, I hate politics, or oh, I know nothing about politics. So it's fun to show them that it's not a scary thing. It's all strategy and it's just persuasion. And we do persuasion every day.
Oh, yeah.
So
Little do we know.
I know, and so I've enjoyed that, and I look forward to continuing to teach students about political communication in the fall.
That's really cool. Well, it's been really nice talking to you.
It was nice talking with you, too.
And you know, as much as I'm not that into politics, I think even just talking to you now, maybe I'll even take that class next semester.
I hope you will, and
Yeah.
as well as everyone else out there. I hope they
Yeah.
will, too.
Well, thank you so much for coming on with us tonight.
Sure, you're welcome. I appreciate the opportunity.
Of course. When we come back, we have Dr. Bill Boerner from the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Stay tuned.
When I found out my jeans were made using child labor in sweatshops, I wrote a letter to the company saying, reconsider your labor practices. A few months later, I get a letter back saying, thanks for being a loyal customer, and they included a coupon for a 25% discount on their jeans. So I got smart, wrote letters every day to all the stores that carry the brand, asking them to stop supporting the companies who use child labor in sweatshops. And I just kept getting letters back, thanking me for my concerns, and more coupons for more discounts on more jeans. So I'm telling my friend about it, and she flips out, saying that between all the letters and coupons, some paper company cut down a small forest, driving off 2 indigenous tribes, hundreds of endangered animals, killing thousands of plant species, some of which may have contained vaccines for HIV, cancer, and syphilis. Meanwhile, the guys cutting down the trees are 13-year-old kids who will work night and day for months just to save up enough money to buy a pair of jeans made by child labor in sweatshops.
We're back on Fredonia Faces with Dr. Bill Boerner. He's here to tell us about the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Hi, Dr. B. How are you doing?
I'm good. Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you, too. Thanks for coming on with us.
My pleasure to be here.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do here at Fredonia.
Sure. So I am the Chief Diversity Officer here at the university, and that's a newer position for the institution. I'm in my 3rd academic year. I oversee the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, which is also a newer office for our campus. I joined the university July of 2013 or so. My partner, the other Dr. B, is a Spanish faculty member here on campus, and so we take the university by storm, and we, as an office, I oversee all of our diversity efforts for our campus. So I am an office of one. However,
Cool.
I wear multiple hats, and I get to connect with faculty, staff, and students. And so as the Chief Diversity Officer, I also serve as our Affirmative Action Officer, which we're required to have under federal guidance. I also serve as our ADA Compliance Coordinator. ADA is the Americans with Disabilities Act, to support any individuals who might need accommodations or support any type of universal design related to disability accommodations on our campus. And then I also serve as the Title IX Coordinator for our campus, and we're required to have a Title IX Coordinator. That's actually a very busy part of my job.
Yeah.
And that Title IX involves overseeing our sex discrimination on our campus, and specifically issues of sexual violence, sexual assault, sexual harassment. That's something that's part of my job responsibilities as well.
Wow, you have a very busy job. You're like an umbrella.
It is
really.
an umbrella, but what I love about it, I get to collaborate with lots of different folks. I'm in the classroom, I'm in the President's Cabinet. I serve on the President's Cabinet. I connect with student organizations. I spend a lot of time at the Center for Multicultural Affairs. I meet with various offices to talk about diversity initiatives and help support any concerns that they might have. And so it's a really dynamic job and lots of different things that I get to do.
That's awesome. So you're very involved.
I
Very involved. You're never really bored. That's great.
There's always something going on.
Yeah.
We have lots of initiatives happening, actually. SUNY unto itself, so as a SUNY institution, SUNY unto itself has said diversity matters. We want to pay attention to this. We want to encourage this on our campuses. There was a new policy that came out this past September that was mandating, actually, all campuses to have a Chief Diversity Officer. Not every institution within SUNY has a Chief Diversity Officer, and there's only about 600 or so Chief Diversity Officers nationally. So This is a small group of professionals. It's starting to grow, but there's a big attention and focus on that. And actually, right now, we're working on a strategic plan related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's one of our new initiatives that's happening right now.
And so that's awesome. That's
Yes.
really exciting. And I noticed that you're wearing a green dot.
I am.
Tell me about this.
So one of our initiatives that's also happening is around sexual violence prevention and response. And so there's actually a new policy statewide. Many people might refer to it as Enough is Enough or aware of it as Enough is Enough. And it's a specific intentional policy and practice on all campuses within the state of New York, so private and public institutions, to have appropriate response to sexual violence and try to eradicate that from our community. And so part of that is a lot of trainings, a lot of raising awareness. I do a lot of trainings with various student organizations, clubs, groups on campus, professional and faculty staff. And part of that is also figuring out how we can prevent this from happening on our campus. And so part of that is this Green Dot Initiative. It's an actual national campaign called the Green Dot Initiative, where individual campuses adopt the policies of the Green Dot Initiative. And basically, it's an opportunity for us to eradicate what they call red dots, which are instances that might happen on our campus, a sexual assault as kind of a high-level offense, or maybe just someone is texting you inappropriate information, and you really don't want that. And so it's considered offensive against our policies.
Makes you uncomfortable.
Exactly. And so we're trying to then have someone step in and say, hey, this isn't okay. Or are you doing all right? Do you need anything? Do you know about some resources on our campus? Or perhaps then distract someone. If there is a potential dangerous situation happening, they might be able to step in and engage and maybe dissipate that from happening. And what we say that type of positive interaction is called a green dot. And so they're then placing that green dot over that red dot or that potential red dot from happening. And it's serving as a positive bystander to try to make sure that these issues aren't happening on our campus. And so we're starting to raise awareness. This is a soft launch this spring semester for the Green Dot Initiative. But this coming fall, there'll be a full launch of this program. Julie Bezick out of the Counseling Center is the individual on our campus who's overseeing that. She's our substance abuse and violence prevention advocate. And she is working with a team of individuals who will be putting training on, providing resources, and engaging our campus around this topic.
That's awesome. That's really exciting. So the fall's going to be a really big time, especially for you.
It will be. And it's the start of the school year. We do lots of trainings. I do lots of work with students, faculty and staff around just diversity and cultural competency training, as well as trainings around Title IX and sexual violence as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now we have about a minute left.
Sure.
One last thing that a lot of people have been talking about are the all-gender bathrooms.
Yes.
Elaborate on this.
Sure. So this is a semi-new initiative that was starting to come out of our Preferred Names Task Force. That's a group of professional staff and students who are working on our campus towards the policy of a preferred name policy. And part of that was to look at, we have restrooms across campus that are single occupant restrooms where anyone can use those restrooms. They're in academic buildings, residence halls, all across campus, about 40 or 50 of them. And what we simply did is change signage. So now they are more inclusive. They have the more inclusive symbol for individuals with disabilities, as well as identify that all genders can use that bathroom. And so any individual, whether they are on the binary of male and female, or anyone that's maybe consider themselves as non-gendered or non-gender conforming, could also use those spaces.
That is great. Well, I'm sorry, our time is up for now.
Great.
But you had so much to say, and thank you so much for being on with us, Dr.
Of course,
B. I
my
really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, and after this break, we are going over to Nunnet and Much More Chill, who will be performing I Can't Feel My Face.
It's fine. Thanks. Hello, I'm Nunnet Clitandre, and I'm here with Fredonia's all-male a cappella group, Much More Chill. They're going to perform a song with you, and after, we'll get to know the members a little better. Here is I Can't Feel My Face. Take it away.
1, 2, 3, and dim 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 ba-dim, dim 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 ba-dim, dim 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 dim.
And I know she'll be the death of me, at least we'll both be numb. And she'll always get the best of me, the worst is yet to come. But at least we'll both be beautiful and stay forever young. This I know, yeah, this I know. She told me don't worry about it. She told me don't worry no more. We both know we can't go without it. She told me you'll never be alone. 'Cause I can't feel my face when I'm with you. But I love it, but I love it. Oh, I can't feel my face when I'm with you. But I love it, but I love it. And I know she'll get the best of me, at least we'll both be numb. And she'll always get the best of me, the worst is yet to come. All the misery was necessary when we're deep in love. This I know, yeah, this I know. She told me don't worry about it. She told me don't worry no more. We both know we can't go without it. She told me you'll never be alone. I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it, but I love it. Oh, I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it, but I love it, yeah. I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but I love you, yeah. But I love you, yeah.
That was great. Okay, so first question. How long has Much More Chill been around? What's the history of Much More Chill?
This is Much More Chill's 16th year in existence. So we've been around since the year 2000. So it's been quite some time.
Okay, so there's a lot of a cappella groups on the campus. We all know Some Like It Hot, Premium Blend, everyone else. So what makes you guys different from every a cappella group on campus?
I would have to say it's the camaraderie of our members. We have a really strong brotherhood. More than just trying to create great music, we're here to have a good time and just enjoy the time that we have together because, you know, we're only here for a short time. So, you know, I'd say the camaraderie is what separates us.
Okay, which one of you here has been here the longest?
Me.
So you've seen the progression of the group. So seeing people come and go, how's the group evolved since you joined?
You know, I think the brotherhood has grown stronger. Just instilling the brotherhood in different people. You know, you see this strengthening, and it's evolved in a way that it's stronger than ever. I think that, you know, just from here on out, you know, we're just gonna keep pushing forward.
So I understand you guys have a tour coming up, right?
Yes, we
guys
do have a
excited about
tour.
that?
Very excited.
So where do you guys go? How does the tour work?
Well, we're leaving for Long Island this weekend, Saturday, and then we're doing some shows down there. Heading up to Schenectady, we actually have an alumni. One of the founding members of the group is actually an assistant principal now, so we are performing at his school, and then we're doing some other schools in the area. So we're really going all around the state and just spreading the love.
Does the tour? How long does the tour last? Does it last all spring break or?
Yeah,
pretty
last
much
all spring break, the whole week.
How are you guys getting around? Are you guys renting a bus or?
We have some personal vehicles that we have to take with us. Yeah. We hope they make it the whole way. We hope so. Oh, yes. On this tour, we are going to be updating all of our shows. If you please follow us on Snapchat at Much More Chill. We're also on Facebook, Much More Chill, and Twitter at MMC Acapella. So make sure to follow us.
Instagram as well.
Oh, and Instagram as well, also at Much More Chill.
All right, last question now. You guys can like all answer. What's your favorite part about being a part of Much More Chill?
Oh man.
Yeah. I want to give that to someone else.
Yeah,
Someone
pass it around, man.
can really answer that.
My favorite part about being in Much More Trail is that I auditioned for it 2 times before I got into it. So I was trying really hard for like 2 years to get into this group. And when I finally got into it, just meeting all of the people and finally being a part of something that was bigger than myself, you know? Being a part of something that I could see myself in the future, in the present, and then when I'm looking back on my college career, seeing something that's so powerful and meaningful. That's the biggest, most important part to me.
Couldn't have said it better.
So, next question's for new guys.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
How has Much More Chill like affected your, whole experience here at Fredonia?
Carefully. Well, I mean, I speak for all of us when I say these guys are my brothers, and knowing them only like a semester and a half now, it's still, I can call each one of these guys up anytime and I'd be like, I need your help with something, anything, and they'll be right over. They'll help me anytime I need help. They're always there for me, and we always have fun. We never not have fun. It's always fun.
All right, anyone else want to answer? No? No?
Sure, yeah. One of my biggest goals coming into college was to be in an acapella group, be in an all-men's acapella group, to have that brotherhood. And now that I'm in it, I really feel that brotherhood, and I love singing with these guys and making amazing music. I think that's really just it's a lot of fun. Like it doesn't feel like work to meet, 3 times a week and work on this music. It's just, I don't know, every time is a great time. So,
You're so sweet.
You're up.
All right, so past the tour, the spring break, what are your future plans in terms of the rest of the semester or next year?
Spring show.
Yeah, we have our spring show. It's our biggest show of the year. We have all of our alumni come back. 15 years worth of alumni is really a lot of people. They come up on stage, they sing with us. And it's amazing because you meet these people, you don't know them, but you feel this connection to them somehow just because we've all been in Much More Chill. And, beyond that, we have some other shows. We're going to be doing Jammin' for Jester. We're going to be doing Relay for Life. So we got another packed. We're packed.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. So before we go, Much More Chill has one more song to perform. Here is What Do You Mean?
What do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go. What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Said we're running out of time. What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Better make up your mind, what do you mean? You're so indecisive, what I'm saying. Trying to catch the beat, make up your heart. I don't know if you're happy or complaining. Don't want for us to end, where do I start? First you wanna go to the left, then you wanna turn right. Wanna argue all day, make love all night. First you're up, then you're down, and in between. Oh, I really wanna know, what do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no, what do you mean? Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? So we're running out of time, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Better make up your mind, what do you mean? You're overprotective when I'm leaving. I'm trying to compromise, but I can't win. You wanna make a point, but you keep preaching. You had me from the start, won't let this end. First you wanna go to the left, then you wanna turn right. Wanna argue all day, make love all night. First you're up, then you're down, and in between. Oh, I really wanna know, what do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no, what do you mean? Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no, what do you mean? Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? So we're running out of time, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Better make up your mind, what do you mean?
That's it for this week's show. I'm Nunnet Clitandre. Have a great night, Fredonia.